This podcast is part of the Shrimp Queen Network.
Visit facebook.com/Shrimp Queen Network to see more great podcasts.
Hear them.
Hear more great podcasts.
Good job.
Thanks for listening.
Did you start recording?
Yes. Hello and welcome back to 10
For 10.
The 10 for Tengers Endgame.
And the squeaky chair from Dan.
Oh, it's starting to get something like here.
Okay, honey.
It's
Honey,
coming
not
in.
important.
Okay. Well, we are back after our 1 week break, which was a nice week break in beautiful Orlando. What did you think of it, Jess?
Our break?
Yeah.
I loved it.
As did I.
I think we should take a break every other week.
I don't think so. Well, we are done. Our Game of Thrones marathon-ish thing. Specials marathon. I don't know.
How many were there? 3?
Trois.
I took Spanish.
3.
Thank you.
Game of Thrones has premiered since our last episode came out.
Mhm.
Actually, 2 episodes have come out. What do you think of them non-spoilery?
Good.
Cool. What do you think of the next episode? The 3rd episode of season 8?
That hasn't come out?
Yeah.
Sad.
Okay. Nice one-word reviews.
It's like, I keep seeing that one picture of Kathy Bates in American Horror Story Season 3, where the subtitles were just screams in fear of the unknown. And that's how I feel about Season 8, Episode 3.
Yeah.
And I feel like they were like, you know what? We're going to give them everything they want, so that when we tear it away, it hurts even more.
Yep, you're more than likely right.
I think that's everyone's
I think
view
it
on
is.
I'm okay with what they
statistically
gave me. I'm happy.
impossible for nobody to die next week.
Oh yeah,
That would just
obviously
be ridiculous.
My one thing is, so many things happened, and it was all so beautiful. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Gorgeous.
Awesome.
That's all. And
So-
speaking of gorgeous, who looked gorgeous? Sansa Stark looked gorgeous. That's all.
So, we are back. We did this last year for the celebration of Avengers Infinity War, wherein I ranked all, at that point, 18 Marvel movies that had been released.
How many are there now? 21?
22.
22?
Endgame's the 22nd.
Oh, counting Endgame. Okay.
Um,
Because we got in the last year Ant-Man, Captain Marvel, and what else?
no, Endgame. It was
18,
Infinity
19,
War.
20.
Infinity War was 19.
Yeah.
Ant-Man and the Wasp was 20.
Oh, okay.
Captain Marvel was 21. This is
Okay.
22.
All right.
Since then, just to edit my list from last year, Infinity War is probably within the top 3 now.
What was your number
Ant-Man
1 again? Civil War?
Yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp is probably
That was a good one. It was the
definitely
best
not
movie.
top 10.
No, but it was the best movie to come out immediately after, because it made us not sad
And
much until the very end.
Captain Marvel is probably not top 10 either.
Ah,
Close, but
you kept talking about how much you liked it.
I did, but
How
there
dare
are
you.
definitely better MCU
How dare
movies.
you? For Origin, though, it's a good Origin movie.
There are better ones.
I know, but I'm saying,
I think what I found,
do you like
what
Thor's Origin better than her?
what I took umbrage with
What?
is the soundtrack. What?
What you took umbrage with?
Yeah.
Like in Harry Potter? What do you mean?
Umbrage is like annoyance. What you didn't like of something, you took umbrage with it. So that's why she's called Umbridge, I think, because she sucks.
I don't understand that. Okay.
Was the soundtrack. I think that it felt kind of
I'm
like
just
an
saying, you've talked
afterthought.
about Captain Marvel since we've seen it way more than I have.
I know.
Like, way more.
I know.
Also, did you see the video of Brie Larson hip thrusting 400 pounds? She can do that.
She also
and pushing
pushed,
a Jeep up a hill.
I saw
that one today.
But no, to me it was the soundtrack really, I think, detracted from it. And if it had more of a thought out and integrated soundtrack, it would have been better probably.
But I did see something that was like, how do I tell my family that Brie Larson can hip thrust 400 pounds without sounding gay?
Anyway, today's episode is on the top 10 Marvel Cinematic Universe heroes. Consider this your spoiler warning for every Marvel Cinematic Universe movie out so far, so up until Captain Marvel. And possible spoiler warnings for Endgame, because there's definitely going to be speculation going on, and we might get something right. So no definite Endgame spoilers, but if you want to go into that movie completely, possibly
I have
blind.
A new favorite friendship in Endgame.
Who?
Thor and Captain Marvel. I can already tell.
Friendship?
Yeah, I said friendship.
Friendship.
If Valkyrie comes in, then it can be a full relationship between the three of them.
Oh.
I
think I don't know who I'd
Valkyrie
rather see.
be. Bye. That's all.
I don't know. And all three of them are polyamorous as well?
Yeah.
That does seem to make sense for...
I think it would make sense.
Well, yeah, all of them, are from alien civilizations, so we don't know how they deal with that.
Just let Valkyrie be. Bye.
She is. Just not on screen.
Yeah. Exactly.
But it is confirmed for her character.
Sure.
Anyway, how I ranked these characters. Obviously, number one is characterization. So,
wow, I wonder who your number one is going to be.
Heroism, powers, casting, accuracy to their comic counterpart, the importance within the MCU, and their entertainment value, and also
If they have an alter ego, are you counting that as a different...
No.
Okay.
That's part of their character, unless it completely
changes. I know that
changes.
is pretty much exclusively one character, but just had to check.
And I'm limiting this to only film characters, otherwise Daredevil.
No Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.?
Yeah, Daredevil would be number one otherwise.
Yeah.
Because I think he's the
Jessica
best
Jones
written.
Be up there?
Possibly. She'd probably be... Yeah,
I would
she
assume
would
that
be.
she'd be, for you, just in how you've talked to them, higher than Luke or Danny.
Yeah.
Just from how you've spoken of them. No offense.
Colleen Wing might even be on here too. She's fantastic.
Who? Is that her friend?
No. She's Danny Rand's love interest, and she, at the end of the show...
You mean Loris
Spoiler
Tyrell?
alert. She was the new Iron Fist at the end. So
that's how
he gave the fist to her. He fisted her. But then, he also had power. It was so strange.
It's like,
there were so many questions.
Spoiler for DC. So it was like Shazam?
What?
How Shazam gives his powers to his siblings?
Yeah, I guess.
But he still kept his? Right?
No, it's more like a ceremonial, actual transferring. There were so many unanswered questions, and the show got canceled right when it started to get really good. That second season was so much better.
Anyway.
Anywho.
Let me guess. Honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. I almost forgot. Thank you. I actually was about to just go into my list.
Fuck.
It's a big list of honorable mentions.
Is this in order, though?
No.
So you're just naming every other character who isn't on your list?
Possibly.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Scarlet Witch.
She powerful.
Loki.
I'm sorry, what?
Loki.
The way that you said it just sounded like Loki.
Oh, also another criteria, I guess, is that they have to be a hero within a movie that they appear in. If they're on the good side, that doesn't automatically mean that they're a hero. Did you count Loki
as a hero in Ragnarok?
Yes, because he ended a hero.
Because he made an entrance?
Loki, Bruce Banner / the Hulk.
Wow.
Black Widow.
I thought he would be at least number 10.
Black Widow, Falcon, Groot, Hawkeye / Ronan, Nick Fury, Valkyrie, and the closest to being on my list, he was almost number 10, Ant-Man.
I just have to say, a big ol' fuck you. Guys, I know that I didn't make a list, but if I had to pick my number one, top five.
Yeah, do you want to go through your list real quick? Top 3, I guess. Hawkeye,
Hawkeye's
obviously.
number one.
Jess is eating a Reese's.
Spider-Man is probably number two. Current Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire is number one in my heart and soul.
Tugboat.
And Andrew Garfield, precious baby, tried so hard. But Tom Holland, number two. And number three would probably be like Captain Marvel or Captain America. The Captains.
Not Thor.
It's like, I love him so much now, but he didn't do it for me in his first two movies. In his like standalone Thor movies.
Yeah, or really even the
Ragnarok.
first Avengers. Well, we'll probably get to him.
And in Age of Ultron, he just kind of disappeared and had like a dream or something in a tub. I don't know. So I'm just saying, he confused me for a while. Now, oh my god, want to protect him, but he confused me for too long.
All right, number 10, Captain Marvel.
What's up, bitch?
AKA
Carol Danvers.
Veers and Avenger, portrayed by Brie Larson, but also the little girl from Haunting of Hill House is one of her younger versions.
What, Little Nell?
Little Theo.
Little Theo was, that's it, okay.
She's the one who's also going to be starring in the new Ghostbusters movie.
How did I not realize
with
that?
Finn Wolfhard.
What?
Yeah, they're doing another Ghostbusters, but it's in the continuity of like the original Ghostbusters.
Little Theo, isn't it?
Yeah, she and Finn Wolfhard are like siblings. Well, probably going to be siblings in it. Spoilers for Ghostbusters. She appears in Captain Marvel and Avengers Endgame.
And the very, very, very end of... Oh, wait, that was in her own movie that she showed up. Never mind. I couldn't remember when that end credits was.
And her own movie.
I couldn't remember that end credits was from Ant-Man.
So, Captain Marvel, she is originally from Earth, believes that she was a Kree, who are the bad guys in like all in Guardians of the Galaxy movies. She absorbed the power of a quantum engine core battery thing.
Wild.
So she has these energy projection powers.
Didn't explode her.
She can fly through space. She obviously has a prolonged lifespan.
She gets a cool ass mohawk when she wears a certain outfit.
Well, that's not a power. That's just her.
How does her hair just naturally go into that thing without her being like, okay, gotta hold it up, gel. That's a power.
She has energy projection power. She can fly. She can breathe in space.
She can fight without shoes on for a prolonged period of time.
Yes.
She did that.
And the last we saw her, she had gone off to help the Skrulls, and then she came back after being paged by Nick Fury at the end of Infinity War.
This one, like the precious one.
Who? Mendo Mendelsohn?
Yes.
Mad Dog Mendelsohn?
I love
so why she's number 10.
twist.
I see a whole lot of potential in Captain Marvel.
She here for the underdogs.
So far I've only seen her in one movie, and she's already convinced me kind of better than a lot of the other characters. She's already made it to your top 10. Yeah.
That she deserves.
And just the trailers from Endgame.
Well, and also that she deserves her powers and respect. Well, no, but like she definitely deserves the powers that she has, you know? Might have been an accident with how she got them, but like...
Are you saying it was fate?
Yeah.
If she had the chance to change
how
her
Thor
fate?
had to earn his. I'm saying some people, it was just like shit. It was thrust on them without them like accepting it for a little bit.
400-pound thrust on them.
There we go.
Call back.
But she was like, all right, I want to do good. Because she already wanted to do good.
Don't you mean do well?
No. Go on, I'm sorry. I'm ruining your list.
No, it's okay. That's why I want you here, because I didn't really write much down. She's definitely in a
relationship with that lady.
Because I knew that you would have a lot to say about all of the entries. Her initial outing, as I said, may not have blown me out of the water or everyone out of the water, but definitely had legs, and a big part of that is her characterization.
Had some awesome outfits, not counting like her superhero outfit. I mean, the clothes that she stole.
Like her 90s looks.
Gorgeous with like the leather jacket.
90s
she stole
look.
That asshole's.
That movie had far too few Rachels in the background.
Thank God.
I thought she was going to get a Rachel. No. She's going to be like, forget the mohawk. I'm getting...
She did say in an interview it was a little bit hard filming Endgame first, because she was like, I don't quite know everything about like my character yet, because doing that afterwards.
Oh, she hadn't even read the script?
I think
for
she had, but it
Captain
was like
Marvel?
she hadn't like been able to.
Oh, she hadn't like done all the character choices that she would
Yeah.
want. Well, that's good because she can always use the excuse that this
It's been
Carol is
quite a few years.
22 years older.
Yeah.
Because that movie
like,
was set
so
in
yeah.
1996, 95, 22, 23 years older.
Because Scarlett Johansson was like, it was great for us because like we got to like watch you kind of like become it, and she was like, it was really hard for me. I didn't know what.
Talking about Brie Larson, I think she's an excellent choice to portray the character and was able to demonstrate vulnerability, badassery, and a solid sense of humor.
Mm-hmm.
All of which generally don't go together. But yeah, in that are you talking about the scene where her hands are trapped and she's escaping from?
No, not the fight sequence. Sorry, like the kind of the montage sequence of all the times she got knocked down and she kept getting back up.
She didn't really use her sense of humor for that. I was talking about.
I didn't know
she was able to
stuff.
juggle
those.
those.
Really funny. And she didn't have shoes on, which was very funny. And I kept going, "Where are her shoes?"
She does a pretty awesome job of embodying the character from the page. The character has had since the 60s to grow on us, but Larson only has 2-ish hours to endear the audience to her.
I didn't know much about her before because it was
for she's
almost
been
10 years so focused on no offense, they've gotten better, but mostly male superheroes, and I feel like she's like, though we've had a few joined, she's like the bitch to follow, you know?
I'm surprised no one called her Miss Marvel at first, and then she's like Captain Marvel.
Ellen DeGeneres accidentally called her Captain America, and she went, Marvel. And it was a little bit awkward.
It sort of makes me excited to see what she has to offer for the rest of the MCU, but also nervous if they ever want to attempt the Civil War II storyline.
Why?
Because that made me mad at her.
What did she do in it?
Books. So in Civil War II, it's Captain Marvel versus Iron Man, because in the beginning, it's Thanos actually comes down and he attacks, and they're able to stop him, but he kills Rhodey in the process. So obviously that affects
nobody
both of
hurts
them.
his.
Rhodey and Captain Marvel are together in the comics, so she was greatly affected. Iron Man was greatly affected, but they both internalize it in different ways. And at the same time, someone stumbles upon a new Inhuman who has the ability to see the future in dreams, but it's not always a definite future. They're possible futures. So Carol is like, we should use his visions to find and arrest people before they can commit crimes, kind of like the movie Minority Report. And then Iron Man's
kind of like what Shield, Hydra, whatever was going to do, and just kill a bunch of dangerous people.
Similar themes. And Iron Man, who still feels guilty about the first Civil War, and at this point, Captain America was incapacitated in some way. He was either like old man Captain America,
about him right
something
now.
like that. He's like, no, that's just pushing fate on people who haven't even done anything yet. We don't know if these are true. We don't know if these are definites. What if we can find these people and help them not do that? And he gets a vision, the Inhuman gets a vision of Spider-Man, Miles Morales, killing Captain America on the steps of the Capitol building, which they all thought was going to happen in Civil War. And Captain Marvel was like, we have to arrest him. And he's like, no, and it's a big fight. And she's just kind of an asshole in it.
Shit.
But she does make a couple good points, and she has a lot of soliloquies and like rationalization. So it's not like she's a full-on bad guy.
If Thanos is still involved, I doubt that they'll do this or they'll have to change it up quite a bit.
Yeah. And that storyline, spoiler alert, ends with Iron Man's, quote, death. And the new Inhuman guy becoming the new Watcher.
About Iron Man or the new people.
Okay.
Oh, wait. Are you done with her?
No. As the Russos have said, she is currently the most powerful hero of the entire bunch that we know of right now. Not to mention her skills as a pilot and in hand-to-hand combat cannot go ignored. Sorry. Her costume is also straight from the pages and translates onto the screen exceptionally well. I think that was kind of hard to pull off because it is very bright. It's kind of like Spider-Man or like Captain America. Like if you do exactly the same, it looks stupid. But yeah, hers, I think they translated it pretty well.
It ended up being like that in the movie.
And of course, I'd be remiss not to mention that she symbolizes a lot for a lot of moviegoers as the most powerful woman in the MCU and the first MCU lady to get her own solo
But I said
film.
most powerful person right now.
Oh, yeah, that too. She was just beat out by one movie by the Wasp for not being the title character. The first title character that was a woman.
Oh,
So
yeah.
the Wasp one.
That was awesome, too.
I guess you can technically consider Black Widow as an Avenger, but that's kind of stupid. So, no. She's like, the first.
Okay, so like the first
Real
Avengers
central
movie,
character.
though, yes, it was the main 6. It was kind of 4 plus 2 spies. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I mean, yeah. Yeah. That's kind of how that was. I know that it's like they're the main 6, but it's like, yeah, but also they didn't.
Are you done?
Yeah.
Did you want me to save you there?
No,
do you want me to jump
I
in?
didn't know how I was going to word it.
All right, number 9.
Wait, but I was going to ask you, what is your theory for her in the movie?
Oh, are we theorizing?
I was just wondering.
I think because of the way she's been really cocky in the trailers.
Dead.
Oh, alive, definitely alive.
Um,
I think she's going to meet Thanos, and he might use the Infinity Gauntlet to like depower her significantly because her powers, like Scarlet Witch, Vision,
so much.
come from one of the Infinity Stones.
Oh shit! Yeah, I forgot about that.
So
Okay.
he kind of has that up on her. I think
But
she's
do
going to
his
jump in and he's going to
work anymore. Does
and
it
she's
even
gonna,
work?
Or she's just going to give it her all and it's not going to work and she's going to realize that she needs to work with the rest of the team or something like that. But yeah, she's definitely alive. She has
I'm excited.
the
for
highest
best buds
of all the alive
she's so
characters
new.
in that movie. She has the most chance
survive.
of being alive.
But I do hope her and Thor become good friends.
Yes.
That just seems like a fun friendship.
Number 9, Black Panther, aka King T'Challa.
AKA Chadwick Boseman.
Yes. Appears in Captain America Civil War, Black Panther, Avengers Infinity War, and probably Avengers Endgame.
What? No, he did.
Probably Avengers Endgame. I think that Chadwick Boseman has been an excellent choice for T'Challa, but ironically, I think he shines the most in the movies that aren't his solo movie. I think
we got to know him more in that one.
Yeah, I know, but I preferred him in Civil War and even Infinity War.
He was such an angry boy in Civil War.
Yeah, but he has such a nice story arc.
Oh.
I think that his movie was kind of stolen.
It was better because his dad had just died?
Well, his dad just died in Black Panther 2.
Yeah, but he had gotten over that for a little bit.
I think his movie, and I've said this before, was kind of stolen by Killmonger and all the supporting characters.
Killmonger was such a good villain, and I hated how much I liked him. It wasn't just because it was Michael B. Jordan.
But I think he does definitely have a story and an arc in his own movie. I guess I was just more impressed by the fact that he got his own arc as a supporting character in Civil War that already had to juggle so many characters.
Amazing.
And it was just his first outing.
You were emotional
still goes through
about it.
the whole thing, and he's like, no, revenge sucks by the end. I also particularly enjoy his kind of more dry comedic chops, which stick out from a lot of the other MCU heroes who usually kind of go for sarcasm and
He's
snark.
very funny in it.
And he's like, it's not that he's stupid, it's just, or ignorant. It's just a lot of his humor comes from the fact that he was raised a king.
In the modern world.
Yeah, and he doesn't live in the world that everybody else lives in.
Sure,
it's kind of similar to like
him.
how Thor was before he got used to being around humans. But even within his own group, like the whole freezing thing, that's really funny. Shuri pulls an old ass meme on him, and he's like, "What the fuck is going on?" But yeah, actually rewatching his solo movie before the Oscars because it was nominated, I enjoyed it a lot more than I did when it first came out. I guess it's held up really well since then. And I was like, fuck, this is actually really cool. Yeah. Especially the music. It's so good.
That does have, I think, some of like the best music because it just like it adds so much to the movie.
Did it win this year for Best Original Score? It was definitely nominated.
It won something. But I think it added to it. It wasn't just kind of like in the
drums.
In it.
So good.
It was a part of it.
It was a character in itself.
That's not what I'm saying, but okay.
He's also the richest Avenger by far, so that's pretty cool.
Richest boy.
He's he's just the richest Avenger. He's the richest person.
Wait, I read
in the
something
MCU.
today, and I just want to know if it's true. Apparently, the actress who plays Shuri found out that she had been dusted when everyone else did, basically, like when the trailer came out.
Yeah, I would believe that. They don't tell.
That is so fucked up. Everyone else knew. They showed literally all the other ones.
Yeah.
She's the only one who wasn't shown, and then she had to... That's fucked up!
I mean, that shit happens, especially with these.
That shit hurted.
She was probably one of... I think the only people who really got to see the entire script for this movie were, like, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. I think everybody else got their scenes.
I think just Robert Downey Jr.
Especially
Chris Evans was saying how he got like pages and sometimes didn't know who.
Especially
he was with.
Tom Holland, who wasn't even told sometimes who he was talking to.
Yeah.
If it was like a CGI character, which I find really funny, or where he was. He's the richest Avenger. He's incredibly smart, and along with his
Mark Ruffalo's all filmed as CGI, so it's not like. He's a fucking idiot, too. I love him.
Along with his purple heart-shaped herb powers and vibranium suit, this combines to create a formidable hero. And like Captain Marvel, he has great potential as he takes the spotlight in the future phases of the Marvel movies. Mm-hmm. But I think his vibranium suit might need to possibly go away or be depowered, because sometimes it can be a little bit boring watching a man in an indestructible suit just get tossed around. And nothing bad can happen to him. So that's just something that might need to change to make it more interesting. Again, like Captain Marvel, his presence on screen carries a lot of weight in society, which we live in, as a powerful black lead and role model for young kids. And the first black lead for a Marvel movie, not superhero movie, because Blade came out and all that. But
was that a superhero movie?
Yeah, Blade. I think it was the first of like the modern superhero. It came out in 1998.
I've never seen it.
Yeah, he's a
vampires?
superhero. He's a Marvel hero, actually.
Is he a vampire?
He's half vampire.
What?
He's a day walker.
What?
Because he can go out during the day.
Okay.
There was rumors that he might get his own show on Netflix before they...
Why is everyone getting a fucking show?
Well, maybe he'll come to Disney Plus instead. Despite only appearing in one solo film and 2 movies as a supporting character, we've seen him go through a lot of natural growth on screen. Mm-hmm. Even as a pseudo-antagonist in Civil War, he got a lot to do.
He had a rough week.
Yeah.
That's all we gotta say.
He's been a major player in some truly awesome action scenes and sequences in the MCU, most notably the rooftop and foot chase in Civil War and the car chase in Black Panther. And I've already said this, but his theme is badass as fuck. I think it's really cool.
I was saying that was like the name of the theme. I was up to seriously.
But yeah, I always forget about that scene in Civil War. It goes on for so long. It starts in Bucky's apartment, goes all the way down, and then he shows up.
I remember.
That was his introduction, actually. It's a good introduction. And then Sam
as
is
Black
like,
Panther, that was his introduction, not as
Sam's
T'Challa.
like, so you like cats?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do you have anything more to say on Black Panther?
No. What is your number 8? Oh wait, what do you think is going to happen to him real quick?
He's coming back.
He's coming back. I was about to say dead or alive, but then I was like, okay, so just alive or staying how he is?
Number 8. Mm-hmm. Doctor Strange, aka...
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me facts about his movie.
His movie?
I don't remember shit.
AKA Dr. Stephen Strange.
Other than he was getting a call for, I believe, Tony Stark right before he got...
No, it wasn't Tony
Who was
Stark.
it for?
Just a random
No, it was
person.
for Rhodey. That's what everyone thinks.
People theorized that it was Rhodey. But I don't think Rhodey was 35, because they say it's a 35-year-old
We don't know things about him
in
like
an
that.
experimental armor. And his armor definitely wasn't experimental by that point. Yeah, his hands get fucked up. I forgot to explain who Black Panther is.
Where's Rachel McAdams?
1 second. Black Panther is the king of Wakanda, a secret hidden country. Well, it's not a secret, but really it's secret country in Africa that has massive stores of vibranium, which leads them to be more technologically advanced than the rest of the world. He is their protector, their superhero. He gets his powers from a heart-shaped herb, and he has a vibranium suit.
It's purple. And
takes on anybody who threatens Wakanda or the world. And he's an Avenger now. Was an Avenger. He got dusted. R.I.P. for now.
Now he's got a sick-ass bro friend with thick thighs.
Who?
M'Baku.
Oh. M'Baku.
Mm-hmm.
I thought you were talking about Okoye.
Oh, yeah, she's cool too.
Maybe she's an honorable mention.
She's going to be awesome in this movie too. I'm excited to see her like interact with the others and just kind of be like,
should I do this in
the fuck is wrong with all of you?
The generic American accent Doctor Strange voice?
Sure.
Okay. Doctor Strange, a.k.a. Dr. Stephen Strange, Mr. Doctor.
Stop.
Or Mr. Doctor.
Please stop. This is the Grinch that we're talking about.
Portrayed by Benedict Cumberbatch, he appeared in Doctor Strange, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Infinity War, and will probably appear again in Avengers Endgame. Why he's number 8. I will be the first to admit that I was very worried when Benedict Cumberbatch was initially cast as Doctor Strange. I thought there were better choices out there.
I thought that he would be bad. It's just like after I left the movie, shortly after, I was like, I don't remember anything. Like
that's
small
time
things.
That's messing with
I
you.
remembered a few things.
I wanted Oscar.
But I really liked Wong.
I wanted Oscar Isaac as Doctor Strange, but
he's busy with Star Wars.
Was busy. He's done now.
Let him be in one large.
I also
franchise.
feared that it might just end up as Sherlock Holmes with superpowers, but thankfully that is not the case.
Is there anyone in the MCU that is also in Game of Thrones?
Probably.
I'm saying this is a wild 10 years for them, you know? No matter if they were in one part or whatever. Like main character.
I don't really think so.
Okay.
Oh, yes. Peter Dinklage.
Okay, we're not talking about X-Men. We're talking about this specific... Oh, wait.
Yeah.
What?
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah,
He's
I know.
in Infinity War. Plays Eitri the
Dwarf.
Dwarf.
God, I forgot. Okay, there we go. Then yeah, he must be having a wild ride. I hope he makes it back for Endgame.
Yeah.
I was just thinking of him as Trask.
But Doctor Strange, he was a brilliant neurosurgeon, but after a car crash wrecked his hands, he went all over the world searching for a way to fix them and came upon a monastery where he learned how to be a master of sorcery. He is now one of the protectors of Earth and their Sanctum Sanctorum. He used to possess the Time Stone and his Eye of Agamotto. He is a master sorcerer and a doctor with a PhD and an MD.
Oh my God.
Last we saw him, he had given up the Time Stone to save Tony Stark. He said, we're in the Endgame now, and he had to do it to him, and then he died. He was dusted when Thanos snapped his fingers.
And he probably knew that it was going to happen to him, didn't he?
Yeah.
He looked at all the futures.
And Benedict Cumberbatch, I think, does a great job as him. He carries a great air about himself, with serious humanity, levity, and humor thrown in to fully encapsulate the Strange that fans know and love from the comics. He's AKA one of the few people that can even go toe-to-toe with Tony Stark in terms of ego and pure snarkiness.
And a little bit of wit.
Yes. I think that's...
And they're both smart.
Yeah, he's crazy smart. And
starts off as quite an asshole.
I think he's definitely... I prefer him in Infinity War.
Yeah, because he's got...
To his
skills.
Initial outing. Yeah. Just also his characterization, I think, was better.
And also he's got one of like the best friends in the entire MCU.
Who fucking ditched him.
Yeah. Good. He probably would have been dusted.
He hasn't been.
I know he hasn't.
Well, that wouldn't have changed.
The only person that has been confirmed off screen was Shuri.
Yeah.
Got a boogie.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
His power set, while limited in his solo film to what's been called firecracker kung fu, is on full effect in Infinity War, and it's truly awesome to see on the screen.
He makes circles with his hands.
Yeah, but then he also makes a bunch of copies of himself.
Forgot about that. And
turns...
Peter really fucking liked his magic.
Yeah.
Spider-Man Peter.
Both of them.
Not cool. Yeah, no, but I mean with how he just kept going, magic! More magic!
Magic with a kick.
Yeah.
He turns Thanos' like attacks into butterflies and all that cool shit.
His cape, awesome
Yeah.
as fuck.
That was just so cool. He's a character who can make a plan and always do what's best for the world, galaxy, universe, but still has a heroic heart beneath it all. And he'll use his mind over his skill, like his brawn, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He's more willing to do that, which than a lot of other characters who will resort to punching and stuff. He's shown a lot of growth over
Are you talking about a specific character who kind of ruined everything by a little punch?
No, I was just saying, I was thinking more to the end of his original movie where he just traps the villain in a time loop and just drives him crazy with that.
That was really funny, actually.
He Groundhog Days him. Groundhog Day? Yeah, he Groundhog Days him.
Groundhog Days him.
And he's had a lot of growth in just 2 movies, one of which he was a supporting role and not starring one, although he was definitely an MVP of Infinity War. He was top tier in that movie of actually doing stuff.
One of the most
Thanos.
logical in it. He wasn't going by like.
Well, he didn't run at him
with
a couple of taser sticks. Okay. Looking at you, Black Widow.
But no, he was very much like about the whole world, not just himself, and many worlds too.
Yeah,
he's one of the only ones who was like thinking about the several worlds, and the not multiverse. Just Earth.
Yeah,
He wasn't like, but Earth. He was like, no, but like literally every single breathing thing.
His story could fall into serious retread territory, his origin story, with its similarities to Tony Stark's, but I believe that thanks to Cumberbatch's performance and the MCU's handling of it, it's different enough to still be entertaining, although it does have some echoes.
Where is Rachel McAdams? Did she like sign on for more
Maybe
than
she
just
got
that?
dusted.
I know, I'm just like wondering.
Number 7.
Just like, why bring in such a great lady?
Maybe asking why I have this character on the list. Number 7.
Number 7? Is it Drax?
No.
No?
Gamora.
Oh, okay.
Portrayed by Zoe Saldana.
I thought that you were talking about who asked the question.
Oh,
why is Gamora?
She appears in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Avengers Infinity War, probably Avengers Endgame. I'm hoping for Avengers Endgame, but you don't know.
I think she's staying dead. She's busy with Avatar.
Oh yeah, the 5 sequels or whatever.
But no, I love Gamora and I don't want her to be
gone for good.
Gone. I think she is like the Soul Stone. I think she got like turned into it. You know what I mean?
I think that everybody who died is trapped inside the Soul Stone.
Yeah, that's what I think. But I think that it, like, since you needed to like sacrifice something that you love. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think it's her. She's a rock now. Hey, I've seen weirder shit. I watched a show where a girl had to turn into a tree.
Do you think they might make
Looking at you, Shannara Chronicles.
Do you think they might make her like a vision? Like they might make a body and put it in.
But like I'm just saying, like it would make. That's what I think. Because like, why would it need a sacrifice to like make it if it isn't like it needed it to like merge with that person? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't think that she's specifically the whole stone. I think she merged with it.
So who is Gamora? Gamora is
the adoptive
daughter of Thanos, but also his star pupil, basically. She is often described as the deadliest woman in the universe, a master assassin, great fighter, decent pilot-ish. I think she can fly, but she doesn't fly better than other members.
She makes other people do it for her.
She can use practically any weapon that's given to her very effectively.
Even good without a weapon.
She's green.
She's got pretty hair.
As of right now, she is dead. Thanos had to sacrifice her to get the Soul Stone to complete the Infinity Gauntlet. So she's dead on Vormir, or whatever that planet was called.
Chilling with Ross Marquand.
The Red Skull. I think that she is a true standout in the MCU as a reformed villain with a great head on her shoulders, serious fighting prowess, and a newfound heroic attitude.
Was willing to sacrifice herself to stop Thanos.
Yeah.
Told Star-Lord to kill her.
Exactly.
Before. Yeah, like, damn, girl.
It was refreshing to see such a badass female character still have some goofy moments while commanding respect from those around her. I can see why Star Star Wars, Star-Lord and Thanos like her so much. She
That's
has some
creepy,
pretty...
because that's in very different ways.
I know. She has some pretty funny moments in the first Guardians of the Galaxy.
Kevin Bacon shit. And
Yeah,
whatever.
she's funny.
And then why would they put sticks up there?
Their butts. Although she seemingly shows far more maturity than the other members of the Guardians, and sort of has kind of like to act as a bit of a den mother for them from time to time, for all the other members of the group. Also, Zoe Saldana is an awesome choice to play such a complex role, and she handles it amazingly. Honestly, she's made me really like the character of Gamora.
Not like
far more than I had in the past.
Just not care really.
Even though I had kind of limited exposure to her. I'm not going to pretend that I knew a lot about Gamora. I just never really cared to learn more.
Her first appearance is in one of the funniest MCU movies.
Yeah, at that point it was.
Yeah, it was the funniest.
In any team she's in, she acts as a forward thinker and a great mediator, often acting as such between Star-Lord, who acts with his heart too much, and Rocket, who acts with his brain a little too much. Yeah. I will say this, though. I do miss Gamora's little yellow eye circles. I think that they're neat. In the comic book, she has these, like, circles around her eyes that are yellow, and I think that would have been cool to see on screen, but whatever.
Okay.
I think they're adorable.
It wouldn't have looked like silly.
Probably did, and that's probably why they got rid of them, but I think they're cool.
Yeah. Maybe they probably always try the, like, original. Yeah. But then sometimes, you just gotta, instead of having the character in, like, a white dress, you gotta just make her be naked all the time. I don't know.
Who's in a white dress?
Talking about Mystique.
Oh.
Sometimes you just gotta, like, I don't know, strip them naked for them to, like, make sense, right?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Sorry. I don't know. I'm sure that they try, like, original makeup if it's, like, not just, like, normal, like, Earth, whatever. But then they kind of have to tweak it for, like, what will look good on screen and what will, like, not make it, like, laughable.
Do you have anything more to say about Gamora?
No. I like her sister, and I'm glad that she's, like, on the good side, sort of, now.
Yeah. By default, I think.
But, no, but also, kind of she really did love Thanos. Gamora.
Yeah.
And she was heartbroken, too. So... And I'm glad that she and Tony are going to make it back to Earth, and Nebula's probably going to get to Earth and be like, what the fuck is this place?
Number 6.
Seriously.
Rocket Raccoon.
I really do think it's funny, though, that Rocket, it will be on Earth before Peter Quill was ever able to get back to it.
I think he went back to get more batteries.
I don't think so.
AKA Trash Panda and Rabbit. He's portrayed by Bradley Cooper and Sean Gunn. He appears in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. He is a genetically altered, what are they called? Not raccoon.
Panda.
No. He's a specific breed of alien.
I didn't know that.
He's been genetically altered, so he's much smarter, he can move faster, he's deadlier, and he can talk.
And he's funny.
He is sort of the brains of the Guardians of the Galaxy. He wanted to be their leader, but he didn't really have the personality to command.
He's a little mean.
Others, yeah, because he's very blunt.
And selfish.
But he's also an excellent pilot, a great inventor, and pretty deadly with a lot of weapons. Not as deadly as Gamora, though.
You realize that he's like a lot like Yondu?
Yes.
If he was still alive.
He was kind of the protagonist of the second Guardians of the Galaxy.
If he was
Peter
still
was the protagonist of the first.
alive.
Yondu.
This would be a whole other story, Yeah. One whistle, bitch.
Why he is
over.
Number 6.
He wouldn't take shit from Thanos, that's all I'm saying.
An anthropomorphic raccoon portrayed by one of the 2010s biggest heartthrobs flying around in space. Should not work.
But it does.
But it fucking does, and it does really well. A lot of people kind of made fun of that movie. That was Bradley
Cooper and that Groot was Vin Diesel, and she was like, what? I was like, yeah.
A lot of people poked fun at this movie, the first Guardians of the Galaxy, before it even came out, because of him. And I think they were kind of eating their words afterwards, because it was fucking great, and he was one of the greatest parts of it. Bradley Cooper turns in one of his most strangely iconic performances yet as the insecure yet extremely smart and scrappy Rocket Raccoon in every appearance that he's had. He's done a great job with it. He's never phoned it in, I'm saying. Rocket has gone through a lot over the course of his films, yet still wants to better himself and be a hero, even though his impulse control could use a little bit of work. And sometimes he's, as you said, a little bit selfish and has to kind of check himself.
Yeah.
He's gone from a loner who used Groot for his abilities to a caring father figure, an integral member of the superhero team that the galaxy relies on. He's sort of the second in command. If anything were to happen to Star-Lord, which it did, he would be the new leader, probably. Yeah. Even though in the comic books, Groot just took over as the leader.
Go Groot.
Go for him.
Do they all speak it now?
I guess. He's probably one of, if not the smartest characters in the MCU.
One of the only two that can understand Groot.
Yeah, on top of his
right
mastermind, he's also incredibly quick and proficient with practically all types of weapon, although he favors large guns, and is also a master pilot of most flying craft. And as you mentioned, he can speak Groot. He also tries to buy a lot.
The only other character that has been able to speak
Thor.
back, is Thor, without just guessing what he's saying.
Yeah, and actually, I mean the rest of the Guardians can speak.
They took them time.
Oh no, Peter has the translator on his neck. I think all of them do. So that's probably why. He does try to steal and buy a lot of things off of people that aren't for sale, which is pretty funny as well. I like that recurring gag. Do you have anything to say on the Trash Panda?
No, I like him.
All right, number 5.
He really likes people's mechanical parts. That's what I have to say.
Exactly. You might take umbrage with this. Star-Lord?
I mean, before, yeah, but first movie Star-Lord, yeah.
Not even the second?
Maybe.
Oh, you didn't like him in that one?
No, I did like him. I liked others more than him in that one.
AKA Peter Quill, Star Prince, Space Lord.
Star Prince?
Other people, he has a lot of alternative.
I thought we were going by, what he's called in the movies.
Yeah.
Who called him that in the movies?
People have called him a lot of shit.
I have never heard Star Prince.
I was on the MCU wiki and had all of the names that other people have called him.
In the movies?
Yes. Space Lord, Hume with a Death Wish, Man Who Has Lain with an Ascavarian, Mr. Lord, Flash Gordon, Terran, and Dipshit. He is portrayed by Chris Pratt. He appears in Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, Avengers Infinity War, and probably Avengers Endgame. He was a man who was taken from Earth around the age of 12 by Yondu, a Ravager, which is basically a space pirate, and then raised to be a space pirate. Unbeknownst to him, though, he was part Celestial.
Mm-hmm. His dad's kind of an asshole.
Was kind of an asshole. He was the son of Ego the Living Planet and his mother, who was from Missouri on Earth. And he grew up with just kind of the only thing he had to remember her by was a mixtape that she had made for him because she died the night that he was taken off of Earth. So he always kind of had her music, and that shaped him a lot. He always had that to listen to. He's kind of a scavenger, a bit of an outlaw, a swashbuckler.
He's quite selfish too.
Yeah, he could be selfish. I think he's
him
less
and
selfish
Rocket
than
are very
Rocket.
alike, though.
Yeah, but it's two sides of the same coin. I think, as I said, he goes with his heart while Rocket goes with his head.
Yeah.
More than often.
Yeah.
I think that due to Chris Pratt's casting and James Gunn's writing and direction, Star-Lord is an extremely relatable and lovable character. I think he's one of the most well-written characters in the MCU in terms of consistency over films. He oozes charm, humor, and has one of the best character introductions put to film, I think, when he shows up during the opening credits of the first Come and Get Your Love.
Thank you.
In the first one, when he's dancing through the sunken tomb to some 70s jams, which is very relatable. On top of this, he learns how to be an effective leader and companion to the other outcasts who make up the Guardians of the Galaxy. Chris Pratt's portrayal brought this generally unknown hero to be one of kind of the big dogs within the MCU and within a lot of people's minds. He's kind of elevated this generally unknown. Even Gamora was more known than him, I think. She had been in more important because she's Thanos' daughter. He is a gifted pilot and a pragmatic fighter who uses everything he has up his sleeve to kind of come out on top. We see this whenever he's in a fight. He doesn't just use his guns. He'll use kind of everything around him to his advantage, or use things that he already has in unconventional ways to win, like his rocket boosters or something like that. He is a surprisingly good tactician despite his immature and carefree nature. His plan to save Xandar works in the first Guardians of the Galaxy movie, and his plan to stop Thanos was going to work, but he himself messed that up.
Yeah, he fucked that right up.
But that was his plan. Going off of that, he is not a perfect hero, and his heart, which drives him to protect those he cares about, can be his biggest asset along with his biggest flaw. He has one of the most compelling stories and origins of any hero within the MCU, but we've only kind of seen snippets of it, so it makes him feel kind of like a serial star, like Indiana Jones or Flash Gordon, actually. But yeah, as I've said, I think he's probably one of the most human characters. He's very believable, and I'm never questioning anything he does. I think that they've done a very good job of keeping him consistent, and that's why it made me a little bit mad when everybody got mad at him for attacking Thanos, when in the previous movie he appeared in, he shot his own father multiple times when he admitted to killing his mother. That's kind of what he does. He goes into those blind rages.
Yeah, and I think overall, I wasn't just blaming him for that. A little rage monster.
Yeah, he can be in a rage, like Harry Potter.
Yeah. When
Harry Potter is like,
let's move on now, because we're talking about this.
Okay. Number 4... Thor.
Wow. Did you do that on purpose?
No.
Are you sure?
AKA, he has a lot of names too. Thor Odinson, God of Thunder, Prince/King of Asgard, son of Odin, Donald Blake, Point Break.
What?
Yeah.
Who's Donald Blake?
Well, in the comic books, Donald Blake is who turns into Thor. He's a human who gets Thor's hammer. And
okay, I'm talking about in the movie.
But in the first movie, that's the alias that he uses when he's on Earth. Point Break, Lord of Thunder, Baby Man, Baby Arms, Smoldering Fire, Pirate Angel, and Sparkles. He's portrayed by Chris Hemsworth and appears in Thor, The Avengers, Thor The Dark World, Avengers Age of Ultron, Doctor Strange, Thor Ragnarok, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame.
Doctor Strange, the end credits?
Yes. Okay. It's a scene from Ragnarok.
Is it when he's...
Visiting Doctor Strange. So, why he is number 4 for Thor. He used to be one of my least favorite Avengers, and it was for pretty good reason, as he used to be really boring, and his character really didn't change from the end of his
Nothing against Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah.
Whatsoever.
He even said that he was getting kind of sick of it. He didn't really change from the end of his first movie up until Ragnarok. He did not change. He was completely
the end of the movie.
character.
Beginning of the movie, he was different. Of his first one.
But even within like the first 15 minutes, he starts to change.
Oh, yeah, I know.
But yeah, that's why you were saying in Avengers Age of Ultron, it's like, what the fuck is going on? He had his own thing, but nothing really happened.
Just somehow they remembered that they had to like connect it to the Infinity Stones.
He wasn't an active participant in his own story.
It was like a last minute shit. We haven't really brought this up in a minute, and it's all happening soon.
Yeah. He is now amazing. One of my favorites, obviously.
Yes.
Hemsworth has been allowed to embrace the silliness of a character like Thor, because he is pretty silly on the outside. He's probably the silliest Avenger when you think about it.
Yeah. He's too big.
While injecting him with godlike levels of brevity and badassery.
He's a feminist.
In the past 2 films alone...
What do people call...
Lesbian ally. In the past 2 films alone, he's gone through an amazing character arc, going from his usual self to a god who has lost basically everything, feels responsible for the deaths of trillions, maybe even quadrillions. I don't know the population of the universe, but still is willing to fight for all he can. Not to mention, he's made some amazing friends along the way. Valkyrie.
He's going to be really
Korg,
sad in the beginning
Captain
of this
America,
one and probably feel like it was all his fault.
Rocket Raccoon, Groot. Yeah. And he also probably has like one of the biggest.
And his brother might like actually stay dead this time. Ooh.
Yeah. He has a vast knowledge of the universe and the galaxies within it, which a lot of the other characters don't. So he's kind of
I just realized that him and T'Challa are the two that had like just a really awful week.
Yeah.
Because then Thor Ragnarok is when Thanos' ship is.
Yep, exactly.
Fuck. Those two. Tough time. Am I right? Go on.
But he's kind of a good connector between the characters on Earth and the entire other galaxy. Him and I guess Rocket Raccoon and Nebula now. But like
before, they didn't really have someone.
Like he'd be like, oh yes, that is the blah 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 of blah blah blah. It does this and that and that. Despite his recent failures, he didn't go for the head. He's still accepted and developed his position as an important leader among the galaxy.
Knows how to make an entrance.
That's coming up. His fight scenes have always been entertaining and just keep improving the more power he gets and the more command he has over his powers. He used to just kind of throw his hammer and that was it. But now since he uses his hands more, he has a different kind of weapon. It's really, really interesting to watch him on screen. And he has not one but two of the best character entrances in the MCU. His arrival in Wakanda in Infinity War must have impregnated some of the audience members. One was 9 months after last April.
Just keep going. Okay, honey, please just keep going.
His relationship with his brother Loki is one of the most genuine and charismatic relationships in the entire series.
He's very trusting.
This led to Loki's third death, actually managing to have some weight to it. Even though you think any other character who would have died that many times, you would have been like, okay, bye.
Oh, I was sad.
Yeah, exactly. I'm saying because of his new relationship with Thor, it made it that much harder. And Thor rubbing off on Loki, and Loki kind of no homo, sugar gay, and Thor kind of returning the favor, Loki returning the favor in some ways, like they kind of influence each other more in their most recent movie, i.e. Thor becoming a little bit more deceptive and conniving and clever, and Loki becoming more of a hero. Tricks. In short, what a glow up. Seriously. And I don't say that just because he glows. He is fucking awesome now. Yeah. Honestly, if he had been this awesome the whole time, he probably would be number 1 or number 2 on my list but yeah.
I don't think he would have been number 1.
Those early movies just kind of.
Forget, I mean. All right.
I think you're wrong about my number 1, but whatever. Number 3, Iron Man, a.k.a.
I think I know who your number 1 is, and I think I know who your number 2 is. I think you think I have it backwards, but I don't.
Okay. Tony Stark, Howard's son.
Tony Stank,
the mechanic, Earth's greatest defender, and Douchebag, a name given to him by Doctor Strange.
I thought it was going to be Pepper.
He was portrayed by Robert Downey Jr., is portrayed by Robert Downey Jr. No Endgame spoilers here. I don't know if he's going to die. If he does, that'll be really sad. He appears in Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 2, The Avengers, Iron Man 3, Avengers and Age of Ultron, Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame. Why he is number 3? He is the guy who kickstarted the whole thing, so it'd be kind of blasphemous to not have him on this list.
Yeah.
But he's kind of earned this spot. Robert Downey Jr.'s casting is spot on, and it's difficult, near impossible, to see any of his contemporaries taking over the role of Tony Stark if he were to ever step down. I cannot think of anybody else who could fill that void.
It's like thinking about somebody else being Wolverine. I just can't do it.
I can do that better.
I can't do that.
He's just so fucking charismatic.
I can't think
Did
of
you know
anything else.
Who the original choice for Tony Stark was?
Give me a hint. Is it still a famous actor?
Yes. He goes, ah ha 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 a lot. And he runs in every movie he's in.
What the fuck
And
kind of
he
a
has
hint
teeth
is that?
that aren't centered.
Willem Dafoe?
He's a Scientologist.
Tom Cruise?
Tom Cruise was the original choice for Tony Stark.
Somebody that I don't really like, and he fucked up. He really fucked up.
What did he fuck up?
What do you think? What would hurt me the most?
Oh, the Mummy?
Yes. Could have
anyway,
said he hurt me.
Back to this movie. Tony Stark's story and progression from his first appearance to now has made him kind of the de facto protagonist of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's gone from a selfish playboy to, as described by Captain America, Earth's greatest defender, with a tortured conscience and a constant need to be advancing his defenses. He's even in a committed relationship and took on a father figure role with Peter Parker.
Yeah, he did.
And will now even admit when he's wrong, which is pretty serious growth from his first appearance.
He had PTSD. He got really fucked up in the third Iron Man.
Yeah. His characterization has remained shockingly consistent given the amount of creative minds who have taken the character on in different movies. In all of his appearances, he's had tons of directors, tons of writers, but it's always consistent. You know, he never does anything that you're like, I don't think Tony Stark would do that.
Yeah.
On top of the writing, acting, and direction behind the character, Stark himself is a formidable and impressive hero on screen. He's the smartest person in any given room, and sometimes this can even blind him to situations that require a bit more heart or even a little bit more thinking through, such as creating a murder bot accidentally. He's created tons of cool new suits.
Hey, he had help creating that murder bot.
Each one more intuitive and useful than the last, except for maybe the Mark 42, which was all kinds of messed up. That's the suit from Iron Man 3.
love that one.
That just keeps breaking.
He just keeps trying.
Tony has had some of the most creative action scenes in the MCU due to his range of suits. And, you know, them being taken off and all that. I really liked his suit in Infinity War, the nanotech one.
Cool one.
And when he got stabbed in Infinity War, whoo,
a woman near me almost fell out of her chair.
When we first saw it, because we saw it twice within like 24 hours, just like silence. Like there was a gasp and then everyone was like...
There was a huge gasp from the entire theater. And one person went, no!
Yeah.
And I thought it was very funny.
Because we'd already seen it, so we knew it was going to happen, and we knew he was going to be fine. If he dies in Endgame, I will certainly be upset, but I'd rather see that happen than either see the MCU kind of milk him dry or try to recast the role. Also, I realized I forgot to summarize Thor. Thor is the god of thunder. Last we saw him, he got...
I thought that was your summary, and that was it.
He got his eye taken out, but now it's back.
That wasn't the last we saw him.
Then he got a new weapon.
Last we saw him, he was trying to kill Thanos, and he didn't go for the head. Boom, done.
And then Thanos snapped his fingers. Even though
That's
we found
Thanos,
out,
not Thor.
Even though we found out that Thor's new weapon, Stormbreaker, is potentially stronger than the Infinity Gauntlet because he was able to deflect his attacks. Iron Man, Tony Stark, genius billionaire playboy philanthropist. He got kidnapped.
I hate that quote. Like, it was great in the first Avengers movie, and then it just got turned into...
It is literally like it's just the easiest way to summarize
but it got turned into...
a meme?
Ugh.
Or like a hot topic thing.
Dude bros to just be like, what am I? Guess what?
Spider-Man.
And he does have one of the best lines in the first Avengers movie, too.
What is it?
We have a Hulk.
Oh, yeah. He was kidnapped and had to kind of think his way out of his situation. So he built a giant suit of armor to escape his captors. And then, stricken with grief at seeing what damage his weapons do to other people, he stopped production. He's still really rich.
Obadiah Stane.
He became a superhero, the first superhero in the MCU.
Jeff.
He kills Jeff.
I almost said
Bridges.
Goldblum, thank you. And then I almost said Jeff Blim.
And he keeps making more and more advanced suits.
Can't stop, won't stop. Almost
after
dies
the events of the Civil War.
Poisoning from...
His reactions to that break up the Avengers. And he is kind of in a bad place right now because he saw everyone he cared about turn to dust. And then now he's stuck on a desert.
He doesn't even know that, that Cap and Natasha and all them came to, fight.
Yeah.
He has no fucking clue. He thinks he got a small boy killed.
So, last time we saw him, he is stranded in space.
With?
With Nebula. Number 2. Do you have anything more to say on Iron Man?
Go Iron Man.
Number 2.
Is Spider-Man.
Spiders Man, yes.
And you thought I would have thought he was your number 1. No, because you talk about Captain like you're talking about the love of your life.
AKA
I know who number 1 is, by the way.
Peter Parker, Spiderling, Spider-Boy, Underoos, the Iron Spider, and Penis Parker, portrayed by Tom Holland. He appears in Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, Avengers Infinity War, probably Avengers Endgame, and definitely Spider-Man Far From Home.
I wonder how they'll do that since he's dead.
Could always be set before Infinity War.
Well, then I saw one theory and it was like it's all happening in Peter's head inside the stone, and I was like, no.
He is a young
Fuck
boy
you.
who was bitten by a radioactive spider. If you don't know Spider-Man's origin, I'm
Then
sorry.
by a radioactive spider, didn't think to go to a doctor.
It's happened
just accepted
twice
it.
on screen already.
He accepted it.
He got superpowers. He feels responsible for anybody in danger because of the power that he has. So he became a superhero themed around being a spider. He was taken on as Iron Man's ward, his sidekick, basically, at first.
Well, but he does have a guardian.
His trainee, in a way.
Yeah, I was going to say, he does have a guardian.
Yeah. He
Usually
lives with his
you're a
Aunt
ward when
May
you
in
don't
Queens. The last we saw him, he was turned to dust by Thanos after
In the saddest fucking
putting
one
up
of them
a
all.
pretty goddamn good fight. We learned that he was, of all the characters that we saw die on screen, the most powerful one, so that's pretty cool.
And he could tell that it was coming because of his spidey senses, which makes it fucking hurt even more.
Yeah.
Because that shit hurted.
But he holds on. Maybe Scarlet Witch might be the most powerful one, but she kind of just gives up. She's just like,
You know,
finally.
he was one of the most. He wasn't the
Yeah.
most. She was definitely the most powerful, but she was accepting it because she was.
And maybe
like,
even
fuck.
Doctor Strange as well. Because he knew
I don't know.
it was going to
He's
happen.
kind of a shitty bit.
But he held on longer than
Yeah.
anybody else before dying. He's Spider-Man, and Spider-Man is the fucking best.
Did you just say he is Spider-Man?
And Spider-Man is the fucking best.
I know.
But second best in the MCU as of right now. He's probably going to go up higher with the more movies he appears in.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Holland's casting is nothing short of perfect for the character, as he was young enough to be a believable teenager and perfectly blends the personas of Peter and Spider-Man into one relatable, believable,
Doesn't have a shitty American accent.
and humorous. He's the first on-screen Spider-Man to do a Queen's accent, actually, and that's awesome because he's supposed to be from Queens.
I mean, I understand Andrew Garfield because he is
But
American either.
No, I mean even like animated, all that.
Okay, so I was gonna say, but like
there's
Tobey
never
Maguire
been
is at least like American.
another super
It'd be
Spider-Man
easier
who
for him
does-
to try to do a.
Queen's
whatever.
accent. He perfectly blends the personas of Peter and Spider-Man
The
into
most
one.
respectful of all of the.
He respects women, one relatable, believable, and humorous portrayal of one of the best superheroes ever created. He's still better than Tugboat Maguire and Andrew Garfield, and he has more time to develop the character
No offense,
from here
Tobey
on
Maguire.
as
You were never. I never believed that you were a teenager.
well. Or Andrew Garfield.
Yeah, that too.
He's had a lot of growth from appearing in just 3 films, one as a cameo and one as a supporting role. He's gone from a greenie, kind of, a kid, dependent on Tony Stark's help,
I
to a
know what
self-sufficient hero, ready to give all he has to the cause.
You said
he
greenie
did.
because of the Maze Runner books and movies.
No, calling someone green
I
is...
know. I'm kidding.
In a way, this adaptation of Spider-Man kind of reminds me of Nightwing. And that's probably why I like him so much, because
I do love
Nightwing...
Nightwing.
Yeah, Nightwing in the Batman comics...
But honey, that's DC.
is often regarded by Bruce Wayne as the best Batman because he has all of the pros, but not
None of
nearly
the-
as many of the cons as Bruce Wayne. So this Spider-Man, he has a lot of the good things about Tony Stark. He's really smart. He's heroic. He's willing to die for whatever. He can think his way out of anything, but he's not nearly as tortured or guilt-ridden as Tony Stark is. So he can kind of grow easier.
And that scene in fucking Homecoming.
That's coming up, babe.
Oh, I thought you were like done with it.
His power set remains unique and amazing to watch on screen, despite Spider-Man being around on film since 2002. This makes all of his fight scenes fantastic to watch on screen, and they're usually enhanced by his comedic chops. His costumes are some of the best adaptations of Spider-Man's from the comics that we've seen in a non-animated format. I think they're the best on screen, especially his Far From Home one, the black one. Oh, that's so cool, the black and red.
Okay.
He's had one of the best villains in the entire MCU, the Vulture.
Because we felt his pain.
He also has one of the best friendships in the Marvel Cinematic Universe with his best friend Ned.
Figuring out who the villain is.
That goes from funny to really intense really fast, though. It's great.
Fucking hilarious.
That scene in the car, I just watched this movie by Lessons from the Screenplay on YouTube. Check it out. He did a whole analysis on just that one scene, like as celebration for Endgame coming out. And it's really, really interesting. He has a meter at the bottom of how screwed Peter Parker is, or if he's fine to get out of the situation. And when, what's the girl that he's on a date with? Liz is like, oh no, Pete was at my party. It goes all the way to fine. And then he's like, yeah, it was great. And she's like, what? You left after like 2 minutes? And then it just like slowly starts going and going and going to how screwed he is until the Vulture figures out who he is. Although I do miss Harry, and I hope they have Harry show up soon.
But I like his buddy now.
Yeah. Maybe they might introduce Harry in Far From Home. He might be like living in Italy or England or something because he's rich. He has been the central character to what I consider to be the best character building scene in the MCU that you mentioned, the rubble scene from Spider-Man Homecoming, which is just a great piece of acting, writing, all just comes together so perfectly and progresses him into a standalone hero, I think, in that one scene. I could honestly go on about how much I love this Spider-Man and this portrayal of him all day long, and I will. But we need to get on to my number one choice for best hero.
Oh my God, short, who is it?
Spider-Man just represents, I think, the future of the MCU best. Number one, you got it wrong. Quicksilver from Age of Ultron.
He's dead.
Okay, Captain America, a.k.a.
He's like dead.
Steve Rogers, Nomad, Cap, the Star-Spangled Man with a Plan, a Kid from Brooklyn, the Capsicle, the Man Out of Time, the Sentinel of Liberty. And this was on the MCU wiki, but I could not remember, but I wrote it down because it's really funny. Grandpa Frisbee.
I don't recall that one, but that feels like a Tony Stark thing.
Exactly. He's portrayed by, maybe it's an Endgame. I don't know. Maybe someone went on and edited that. He's portrayed by Chris Evans. He appears in Captain America, the First Avenger, The Avengers, Thor, the Dark World, Captain America, the Winter Soldier.
When is he in Thor, the Dark World?
Loki.
Oh.
Tends to be him.
Yes.
Avengers Age of Ultron, Ant-Man, Captain America Civil War, Spider-Man Homecoming, Avengers Infinity War, and Avengers Endgame.
Whew.
Why he is number one.
Is he the most, or is Robert Downey Jr.
Robert Downey Jr. is, and
okay.
then actually Samuel L. Jackson.
Well, yeah.
He is the embodiment of heroism. And
is Samuel Jackson, sorry, is Nick Fury technically an Avenger?
Yeah, I had him on here as a hero.
Okay. Well, yeah, hero, but...
He's always striving to do what is best and what is right, even if he has to sacrifice all he can give to do so. Chris Evans has always been a favorite of mine, even before this.
Hell
and
yeah.
His portrayal of Captain America is nothing short of perfect. I was a big fan of the movie Cellular.
Your number 1 and your number 10 were in a movie together. Think hard.
Oh, Scott Pilgrim versus the World.
Yes.
And also, he was in 2 movies with Scarlett Johansson before.
And Brie Larson was in a movie with Scarlett Johansson before.
Yeah. They were in The Perfect Score, and they were in... What's the other one? The Nanny Diaries.
Yes. And also Scarlett Johansson and Bradley Cooper were in a movie together. He's just not that into you. That also has current Batman in it.
There isn't a current Batman.
The most recent Batman.
Ben Affleck?
Yes.
Oh. Yeah. Well, he's not Batman anymore.
Uh-huh.
Chris Evans.
And Justin Long is in that movie, and I just want to say, I'd love to see him join the MCU someday. I love him.
Oh, yeah. He'd actually be pretty good. He would have been a good Spider-Man back in the day, I think. He could have done that pretty well. In his accepted era, could have done that. I genuinely did not like Captain America that much before seeing Chris Evans in the role. As Chris Evans' portrayal allowed me to reevaluate a character I'd always considered cheesy and just generally outdated. On top of this, his character arc has made him more and more relatable as he grows to question every authority he used to trust and do what is right, even if it's technically illegal, which actually signifies high moral development.
Hail Hydra.
Okay, thank you. He's been the main character in 2 of the best films in the entire MCU, and his solo trilogy is easily the best out of the Golden Trio characters.
What are your 2 of the best?
Oh, the Winter Soldier and Civil War.
Okay, I was going to say Winter Soldier, I hope.
He definitely has the best trilogy out of Cap, Iron Man, and Thor.
He's got a great team in the first one. Love them guys.
Yeah. Many consider the Winter Soldier to be the Howling Commandos.
Okay.
To be one of the best action movies of the 2010s, even though I prefer Civil War. His action scenes, since the Russos kind of re-examined his fighting style in The Winter Soldier, have been fantastic to watch, as he's just like as fast as he can. He wants
fuck.
Well, that's what his deal is. He wants to deal as little damage as possible, but also get rid of his enemies quickly.
In Infinity War, when everyone starts running, and Cap and
Black Panther
are just like, bye.
Yes, I do. Sorry, my alarm just went off.
Go on.
He's courageous, clever, loyal, and an excellent leader, but most importantly, he's an excellent friend who will protect those he loves so long as he considers it to be the right thing to do. Iron Man and Thor have always been kind of cool, but the MCU reintroduced Captain America to a whole generation and made them see him as the awesome symbol that he is. Not to mention his two love stories, Peggy and Bucky, are the stuff of legend. I expect him to die, but I'm still going to be devastated to see him go in an Endgame.
But aren't you also convinced that he will just go back in time?
He possibly might go back in time.
Be with Peggy. They're just going to like keep it kind of on the down low.
I just hope that he gets his happy ending, is how I ended that. I forgot to explain him. He was a scrawny kid.
Did you not have this written down?
Yeah, I didn't. He was a scrawny kid
just
in the
from
1940s. He wanted to join the U.S. Army during World War II, but he was constantly told not to.
Down.
He was eventually chosen to be an experiment for a super secret super soldier program, which worked, but he is the only one because the potion was stolen by Nazis.
Potion.
The formula was stolen by Nazi sympathizers called Hydra.
And they killed the doctor who created it.
He gave his life, or tried to save the world. He did successfully save the world, but he was frozen in ice.
Stanley Tucci!
Until 2011, when he was thawed out and helped in the first Avengers movie. The last we saw him, he was on Earth, reeling
looking like
after
a sad boy.
All of the deaths in Infinity War.
Specifically seeing Bucky go bye-bye.
As we can see in the trailers for Endgame, he wants revenge real damn bad. Probably the most of all the characters. He even shaved his
beautiful beard off.
He should have kept that beard.
He looks chiseled and beautiful, but where the fuck is his beard? It was so full and just gorgeous.
Rustic. Did you know that he wears a wig
to be
Captain America? Which is weird because he has nice hair.
Yeah, but he probably
doesn't want to dye it blonde all the time. But yeah. It's a good wig then. I didn't know. I thought that was just his hair. I thought he just grew it out. Yeah. So that is my list. Have you reevaluated yours? Are you still
I'm still good.
Top 3?
I'm still good.
Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Captain America, Captain Marvel,
Captain.
The captains.
I hope if there's not a scene, even like in passing of just like a captain.
Or just someone says Cap and they both turn or something like that. Anyway,
no, I don't think she's ever referred to as like Cap.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We hope you enjoy Avengers Infinity War. If you're going to see it, please let us know what you thought of it. If you do, you can follow us on Twitter at 10for10pod. Like us on Facebook. We are the 10 for 10 podcast there. You can follow us on Podbean, Spotify, and iTunes /Apple Podcasts. If you could leave us a review wherever you can, that's always helpful, preferably if it's 4 or 5 stars. But you know what? Be honest. Tell us what you think.
We love you. Bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode. We also hope you aren't devastated by Endgame and or the Game of Thrones episode coming out this weekend.
We love you. Bye.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Shrimp Queen Network.
Visit facebook.com/Shrimp Queen Network to see more great podcasts.
Hear them.
Hear more great podcasts.
Good job.
Thanks for listening.